Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pat Carosa Buffalo Bills channel. I hope all of you are having an awesome week. And as the week turns to Wednesday, it means we are that much closer to another week of NFL action, which starts tomorrow on Thursday. I know the Bills played last Thursday, but now it's week two, and it's going to be Kansas City versus the Chargers. But before I get into my week two picks, which I will do every Thursday or every Wednesday, my bad, every Wednesday, please comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be great, as I really want to grow this channel, and you'll miss some great, awesome content if you don't. So I hope you do. So I'm going to go through these picks somewhat really quickly. And I'm in this pick'em league, and I was 7-8 last week. I had a couple of disappointing losses by teams that I expected to win. Tennessee, Colts. Yep, I lost my Survivor League. It was awful, totally awful, awful. Anyway, let's get into it. My picks for week two of the NFL season, which starts, like I said, tomorrow. A really great game. Chargers versus the Chiefs. Both teams could be challengers for that AFC crown this year. And I expect a really, really competitive game, uh, tomorrow. But I'm going to pick the Chargers over the Chiefs. I know Patrick Mahomes looks amazing. He really does. He had 5 touchdowns last week, and that offense looks really, really good. And Kansas City usually gets off to a hot start, especially in September. But I don't know. I really like the Chargers. I really like Justin Herbert and his weapons. I know Watson Eckler is not going to play in this game, and that's going to hurt. But but I really like that team, and I think they're going to get a big win. And I think their defense is really good too, with Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, among others. So I'm hoping the Chargers win, and I can start off my picks the right way. The next team I got is Cleveland over the Jets. I think the Jets are not a great team. I think they're one of the worst teams in the league. They have good pieces on offense and defense. They had a good draft, offense and defense, but what is the most important position in football? Quarterback. And the Jets don't have it. They have a very old Joe Flacco, and Zach Wilson will be out for 4 weeks. And I just think Cleveland is the better team, even with Jacoby Brissett. So even though we don't want it, I think the Browns are going to be 2-0. It's the home opener, and they have a really good running game, which will cause problems for the Jets. The next team is Washington, the Commanders over the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, they're a pesky bunch. They're not a good team, but they will stay competitive with you. They will stay in games. Dan Campbell does a good job of coaching that football team, of getting ready. And although they're not great, they are always prepared to play against you. But I think the Washington is the better team, and I think they're going to win. And they have better players. They have the better quarterback, Carson Wentz, and they have a better receiving core and also a better defense per se. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that Washington is going to win that game. The next team is New Orleans over Tampa Bay. And I know that kind of comes as a surprise, but at the same time, uh, Tampa Bay hasn't haven't have not done well against against New Orleans the last couple of years. I don't think Tom Brady has beaten the Saints at all in the regular season. He has beaten them in the playoffs, but not in the regular season. And I think the Saints are a sneaky good team. I think they really are. And they have a good, I think they have an okay quarterback in Jameis Winston. They have a good group of receivers, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and I think they'll score some points against Tampa Bay, and I think they'll get some pressure on Tom Brady, who that offensive line has issues. He got hit a lot against the Cowboys last game, but I think it's going to be a competitive game. But I think New Orleans will squeak it out. Giants over Carolina. Look at the Giants. Although it wasn't a totally impressive game, they won in Brian Dable's first game as head coach. I mean, what a game! They came back. He had the balls to go for it on a 2-point conversion to win the game, which I love. And man, I just think Brian Dable is the right coach for that team. Now, it's not the best, of course. I've never been impressed with Daniel Jones, but Saquon Barkley looks back. He looks really good, and I think they can do some damage over Carolina, who is really not a good team. I mean, they really should have beaten the Browns. And I know Baker Mayfield, that he wants to have a good season, and I think he'll put up good numbers, but it's just not the coach isn't right over there. And he doesn't make good play calls, doesn't put those players in the best position to succeed. And man, I just think the Giants are going to be 2-0. I really do. They look great. So but so I think they're gonna squeak it out over Carolina. The next one is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh versus the Patriots. The Patriots did not look good. I mean, their defense was okay, but man, their offense is just not there. They're not gelling at all. You can tell that two coordinators are calling the plays at the same time. Mac Jones, just did not have the confidence to push the ball down the field. And I just don't think that the Patriots are going to be great this year. They could go in last place. Red Sox, Patriots in last place. That is great for me since I'm a Yankees and Bills fan. So that's great. But I don't know. I just think that Pittsburgh, not a great team, but they can squeak those games out. TJ Watt is not going to play in this game, but Mitchell Trubisky can and is a great game manager and can make the right throws to win the game. And I just think that Pittsburgh will squeak it out in the end. Mike Tomlin is a good coach. He has those players ready, and he'll squeak it out. The next one is the Colts. The Colts over Jacksonville. Man, I mean, that AFC South is not great. Really not great. No wins in week one, which is crazy. And the Colts the Colts had a tie game. They should have won it. But overall, I think the Colts are the better team with Matt Ryan, Jonathan Taylor. It was a fluky game last week. The Colts should have won. So I think they're going to get they're going to have a better game this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I think the Colts are going to win. Ravens over Miami. The Ravens look great. I know it's against the Jets and they're really, really terrible, but I think the Ravens are a sneaky good team. They're one of those sleeper teams that I have in the AFC. Lamar Jackson looks really, really great. They did get off to a slow start last week, but I think but they ended great, and I think it'll just roll over to this week, and Lamar Jackson should be better. And I think Miami, they had a good They had a good win last week, but still, I don't think they're a great team. Yes, Tua can push the ball down the field a little bit, but man, he only had one throw that went over 20 yards, and the Dolphins just had one offensive touchdown. So, it wasn't as impressive as the score might indicate. So, I just think against a really good team like the Ravens, I think they have a good defense, they have a good offense. I think Miami is going to unravel a little bit. So, and he doesn't good do, and Tua doesn't do great under pressure. He has no pocket awareness whatsoever. So, I think the Ravens are going to win over Miami. The next one is the Rams. The Rams over Atlanta. So the Los Angeles Rams, yes, they lost. They lost last week against the Bills, but but I think they're gonna bounce back this week and beat the Falcons. I think they're the better team, of course, and I think Matthew Stafford and Cooper Cup will get on the same page, and that defense will harass Marcus Mariota and the Falcons offense, who I was impressed with in their week one loss. But at the same time, I think that defense will help harass um, Marcus Mariota. Next one is the Niners over the Seattle. What a win by Seattle. And they played really, I felt they played great. The defense played great. The Seattle defense played great. But I still think the 49ers are a good team. Now, Trey Lance did not have a good debut, but that was in the rain. I want to see him in like the sun or the on a nice day for football. So, I'm going to reserve judgment on him until the very time where I'll see a couple games. We still don't know much about him, but I still think that Kyle Shanahan is a good coach, and he'll have his team ready. And I don't think Seattle's is that great of a team, and I don't think Geno Smith is really that great of a quarterback. I mean, he wasn't that great of a quarterback 10 years ago. So at the same time, I think who are you going to choose? I would take the 49ers. I think it's going to be a close game, but I would take the 49ers. Next, it's Cincy over Dallas. Dallas did not look good, even with Dak Prescott as quarterback. They did not look good at all. Their defense was okay. Their defense actually did a okay to good job, but controlling Tom Brady. But man, I mean that offense is so miscombobbled. There's the receivers aren't getting open. There's no protection for Dak Prescott, and the running game is non-existent. Ezekiel Elliott is a shell of who he was, and yeah, they just haven't done anything that has improved that offense. And now Dak Prescott is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So, you take Cincinnati. They should have won last week. They have a better team. They have better players. Joe Burrow shouldn't throw 4 interceptions this week, so he should have a better game. And they have players that could make plays. So I think that's definitely one of the lock-it picks this week is Cincy over Dallas. Next one is Denver over Houston. Now, I did not like Nathaniel Hackett and his play calling this week, and I thought Denver's defense did not have a good game against the Seahawks. But at the same time, they move the ball. They just need to hold on to that football and protect the quarterback better. And if they do that, I think they're going to win some games this year. But Nathaniel Hackett has to be better at his play calling and clock management, and that goes on Russell Wilson too. Too many delay of game penalties for Russell Wilson. I mean, you played in that stadium for 10 years, so there's really no excuse for you to not know where the play clock is in a given moment. So But still, I think Denver is an okay team. I think they're an okay team, and I think they're gonna beat Houston, who are really not bad. But I still think that Denver's going to win. Next one is Raiders over Arizona. Arizona did not look great at all in their game against the Chiefs. I know it's the Chiefs. I know it's Patrick Mahomes, and they are really, really good. But I just think that the Raiders, with Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, can squeeze out a win against the Cardinals, and their defense does not look good. So I believe that Devontae Adams can get over the top on them a little bit more. I still don't think the Raiders are that great of a team, but I think they still can beat teams that they're better than, and and I think Arizona is that team. I don't think Arizona is going to have a good year this year. So it's Raiders over Arizona, and then next one is Packers. The Packers over Chicago. Um, Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago. Let's just face it, and he always beats them. Not Chicago could win against the Packers, but I still think Aaron Rodgers is still a good quarterback, and I think it'll take him a couple games to get used to his receivers. But I still think Chicago is not that great of a team. I know they won in week 1, but that was during a rainstorm. I think when it's perfect weather, I think Green Bay can have their game against the Chicago Bears. So I expect them to win, and Aaron Rodgers should have a bounce back day against the Green Bay Packers. And on to the Monday night games. Buffalo over Tennessee. My Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go more in depth uh, with them later, of course, in another video. But I think Buffalo's going to win. I think they're one. I think they're the best team in the NFL. They showed it week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. Josh Allen looks really, really great. He can make every throw, he can make every run, and they have a great skill set of receivers: Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, Isaiah McKenzie. Defense. What a debut for the defense. What a debut for Von Miller. They should be able to contain Derrick Henry. And I don't think the Tennessee offense is really that great. They don't have a lot of skill players. Obviously, they traded um, their receiver, their top receiver from last year. But at the same time, I just think Buffalo's the better team. And they're at home opener, and it's tough to beat Buffalo at home, at all, especially now. And it's tough to beat Buffalo in their home opener as well. I've been going to Buffalo Bills games for a long time, and I've been going to season openers for a long time for the Bills, and it's always a tough team to beat in the first game or second game of the season whenever their home opener is. So, I expect the Bills to come out and beat Tennessee and go to 2-0. So, I think Buffalo's going to win. And the last game of the week is Minnesota over Philly. I know Philly's a good team. I think they're gonna win the NFC East, but man, I just think Minnesota has it all. I think they finally have a coach who is offensive minded and will put offense first. And I think Kirk Cousins looked great. And Justin Jefferson is honestly the best receiver in football. I just think the Vikings will have good season this year. I think they will win the NFC North. I really do. So, I think they're going to go to 2-0 this year as well. So, those are my picks for the week 2 of the 2022 season. I will tell you guys how I do on Monday or on Tuesday, most likely Tuesday, since the Monday night games will be playing that day. So hopefully I have a better week than last week. I know this was a long video. I'm sorry about that, but a lot of games this week. So as for me, Pat Carosa, I hope you have a good week. I will send out my Bills video later on. Until then, go Bills and have a good day. And remember, please like, comment, and subscribe.